Alrighty, so we are just quickly looking at exercise 1206, question 5. So it says, for each of the following diagrams, find the value of sine beta, cos beta, sine alpha, and cos alpha. So for sine and cos, we have the trigonometric ratio. So for sine, it's opposite over hypotenuse, and for cos, it's adjacent over hypotenuse. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at sine beta first. So I'm going to highlight my angle beta and where I'm going to use it in answering my question. So then what I want to do is I want to label my triangle in relation to this angle. So my hypotenuse is opposite my right angle. My opposite side is opposite my angle that I am looking at, and my adjacent side is next to my angle that I'm looking at. So we know that sine is O over H, and so sine beta is O, which is 12 over H of 13. So our fraction here is going to be 12 over 13. Then when we look at cos beta, it is A over H. So cos beta equals A, which is 5 over our hypotenuse of 13. So it'll be 5 over 13. Now what we want to do is we want to look at alpha. So alpha is this angle here, and we want to look at the sides that are opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse in relation to the angle alpha. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just quickly erase our stuff here. Actually, I won't erase our hypotenuse because it will stick around. There we go. I'm not going to worry about that. There. So we have our hypotenuse, it's always opposite our right angle, and then our opposite, our angle beta, angle alpha, is our side 5, and adjacent to our side, our angle alpha is our side 12. So then for sine, we know the ratio is opposite over hypotenuse, or O over H, so that means that sine alpha will equal 5 over 13. Then when we're talking about cos alpha, it is A over H. So our adjacent side is this side here over our hypotenuse of 13, which is 12 over 13. Now for question 5b, we have this triangle here, and what we're still doing is finding sine beta, cos beta, sine alpha, cos alpha. So for beta, it is here and it is here. Now when we're looking at beta, we're looking at this whole big triangle here. So what I'm going to do is retrace that because I wasn't happy with how that looked, and I'm also going to copy that triangle and draw it just above my betas here and put my information on my triangle. So we have that with our triangle, our angle that we have been given is beta, and it is up here. That's what we're talking about here. We know that our right angles here, we know that this length is 15, this length is 12, but then this side length here, we have that this distance is 4 and this distance is 5, so that means that the whole distance will be worth 9. We then want to label our triangle. So we have our hypotenuse that is opposite our right angle. Oops. Our hypotenuse is opposite our right angle there. We have our angle that we're talking about, which is beta here, and the side that is opposite it is 12, and then we have our adjacent side, which is 9. So for sine, we have the trig ratio, O over H, so sine beta will equal, our opposite side is 12 over our hypotenuse of 15, and then for cos beta, it is A over H, so we'll have cos beta equals, our adjacent side is 9 over our hypotenuse of 15. Now for sine alpha, our alpha is this angle in here. So when we're talking about alpha, we're just talking about the angle in this small triangle here. So again, to make things easier, I would highly suggest drawing a replica of that triangle. It can be a lot smaller, like how I've done it, and putting on our dimensions. So our alpha angle is here that we are looking at, And then we know that this distance here is 5, this is 12, and this is 13. We then want to label our triangle. So our hypotenuse is the side length 13. Our opposite side is in fact 12, and our adjacent side is 5. So then for sine, we know our trig ratio is O over H, or opposite over hypotenuse. So then we have sine alpha equals, our opposite side here is 12 over our hypotenuse of 13. So 12 over 13. And finally for cos, we have our trig ratio of A over H. So we have cos alpha equals A, which is 5 over our hypotenuse of 13. So, I need to change back to a pen. So that's 5 over 13.